welcome to Spotlight on the Community. Hi, I'm Janine Cunningham, and this is GEUS 34, Spotlight on the Community, and we have a very big man today as our guest. I'd like you all to meet Big Bill Johnson. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Janine. Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction.
Oh, well, I have a little bit more I want to say about you. Actually, I'm going to borrow it from Bob Phillips, the four-country reporter, who said, "There are certain men with little want, need, or attraction to the bright lights of stardom, and Big Bill Johnson is just such a man." Big Bill took a chance at fame and fortune in Nashville, Tennessee, but he traded it for a bucket of mud and a drywall knife in Greenville, Texas. So meet Big Bill Johnson, singer, songwriter, and drywall man.
You got that right, Janine, and I tell you, doing drywall is a lot easier than music. People think it's harder, but it's not. Traveling in music on the road and all that stuff, and just I do a few hours of drywall work, go home, watch my favorite TV show, eat a good meal, and go to bed.
Well, so you're a man of many talents. If you're not busy writing songs or singing songs, you can make a great living as a drywall man, right?
Yes, I can, and I have, and I have also made a living as a musician and songwriter and entertainer.
Well, I would really like for people to know right away just how talented a singer and songwriter you are. So I'd like to start our interview with a song. Would you do that for us?
Oh, you got that. Did you ever hear of Johnny Cash?
I sure have.
Okay, I've done some shows with Johnny Cash. He's quite a guy. Hate to see him pass away. And this is my way of paying my respects to Johnny Cash. I wrote a little ditty about him. I'm using part of Folsom Prison Blues as a tune, but since I don't plan to record it or sell it, I don't think it'll hurt anything. Oh, can you believe that? We had a false start. Maybe do it again?
Oh, good. I like that little false start. Now let's do the real one.
Oh, here we go. Blame it on arthritis.
Okay.
The first time that I heard his song, I walked the line. I loved that rhythm so much, I nearly lost my mind. And I knew that Johnny Cash was one of a kind. Johnny heard the trumpet blowing loud and clear. Just like in the ring of fire, it filled his heart with cheer. And Johnny Cash told Gabriel, "I knew you'd soon be here." Can you stand a couple more verses?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Johnny saw the chariot coming from up high, coming to take Johnny Cash to his home up in the sky, where I know he'll be so happy in that sweet by and by. Standing there to greet him as he entered heaven's door was his wife, June Carter, together once more. And they'll walk hand in hand on that heavenly shore.
Hey. I think Johnny would be very pleased to loan you his song so you could write such a beautiful tribute.
Well, I use a little bit of it, most of it anyway, I guess.
Well, so it's obvious where you got this idea for that song. Where do you get other ideas?
Well, okay, I'm glad you said that. I'll play my guitar as much as you let me do, because I'm glad to get these songs for people to hear them. Have you ever been bothered with a telemarketer?
Oh, every day.
Aren't they wonderful people?
Well, that's not what we call them at my house.
Anyway, this guy called me up one day, and he's trying to get me interested in a dish, satellite dish.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't interested in that at all. But so then I got my guitar out a few minutes later, a little while later, and this song came up with it, and it's called, I want to say this, I was a songwriter in Nashville for years. You can say anything you want to in a song in Nashville as long as you put love in it.
Oh, I see.
So I want to write songs about dishes, but I had to have something about love.
Okay.
The only dishes we had when I was a lad were the kind we ate out of. There was no TV Another false start.
That's okay.
I
Start
got more
again.
false starts. You know, the only dishes we had when I was a lad was the kind we ate out of. There was no TV for us to see, and folks had time for love. Folks had time for love. Folks had time for love. There was no TV for us to see, and folks had time for love. One more verse. It was church on Sunday and work on Monday. Everybody pulled their weight. Families prayed together and stayed together, and folks got along great. And folks had time for love. Folks had time for love. There was no TV for us to see, and folks had time for love. Let's do that chorus one more time for my sweet wife, Christine. The folks had time for love. Folks had time for love. There was no TV for us to see, and folks had time for love. Well, so that's what came from a telemarketer's call.
Oh,
Isn't that wild?
That is wild, but I love it. It sounds so easy, though, to write a song. Is it really that easy?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've been writing songs for, since 1950. And it wasn't as easy then, but now it's... And can I tell you about songwriting just for a second? I'm the kind of a guy that don't like to do anything all the time. So I said, I'll start writing songs, and I'm going to write 8 hours a day, and I'm quitting. I don't care what happens. Well, next thing you know, I got songs recorded by Nashville stars and stuff. 8 hours a day soon grew into 24 hours a day. Maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up and been looking for a certain phrase. Just come to me in my dream practically. Jump out of bed and write it. I don't do that much anymore.
But, how old were you when you started writing songs?
Oh, let's see now. You're going to try to get my age fixed up here. Real young.
Well, yeah.
I'm older than dirt, but I won't tell you how much.
I've already forgotten you told me it was around 1950.
You already forgot that? I could be off a year or two anyway, too.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So have you got any idea how many songs you've written?
Well, years ago I said I had 1,000. I've surely written another 1,000 since then. Back then I was in Nashville and I was getting probably maybe 10% of the songs I wrote recorded, which is a very good average.
Sure is.
But now I'm not in Nashville, and all the people that I dealt with in Nashville that knows who I am, whatever, they've all passed away or moved on to other jobs or retired. So these kids in there now, if I went to Nashville and I got acquainted with, spent some time there, then I'd get a lot more songs recorded. But I don't want to leave Greenville. Afraid they won't let me back in.
That's right. Well, I bet our viewers would know some of the people who've recorded your songs.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Stonewall Jackson's got one out right now called Keep Off the Grass, which is a negative aspect of marijuana smoking. They call marijuana grass. I started writing that song, and believe it or not, Janine, I just kept writing. I had all this bunch of verses you ever saw, and I never had said the word keep off the grass. And finally, in the last 2 or 3 verses, I finally got to where I could do that. And Stonewall just loved it. And there's been, maybe 3 or 4 other people recorded it. Carl Smith, he was real big in the Grand Ole Opry years ago. And at one time, he was married to June Carter, before Johnny Cash was. And I think they had one child. But anyway, he had a big hit of mine called That's the Way I Like You the Best. And that was back in the 50s. It probably sold about 100,000 copies then. This is strange now. Can we go on about this?
Sure.
I belong to Broadcast Music Incorporated, and they're licensed around the world. So I went down to the post office one day, in the last 5 or 10 years, 5 years or so, had a real nice fat BMI check from That's the Way I Like You the Best. It was a hit in Italy. We're talking 25, 30 years later.
Was it sung in Italian or English?
No, I don't have no idea. I just never,
So you haven't heard it.
I just cashed the check.
Wait, did they cash it in? Let's see, what would that be? Lira
no,
or dollars?
No, the BMI is located in all over the United States. This check probably came from New York. But I mean, they have their license all over the world. Okay, and so that's best. I'll just say one more thing about that song. That's the Way I Like You the Best. Now there's a record company in Germany called Bear Family Records, and they have released all of Carl Smith stuff all over the world. So now I've got that one all over the world. So isn't that a happy thing?
It is.
So I'll get a few cents royalties off of that.
Well, it must make you feel very good that the subjects that you choose and the songs that you write translate to any language.
I just want people think, I'm strange. I probably am, my wife especially. But anyway, every day is almost like Christmas to me. I go to the post office and I don't know what's going to be waiting, and the phone rings. I don't know who it's going to be. Just like you calling and want to interview me on this show. So I think that's real neat.
Well, do you ever have any regrets for